is the color of my true love's hair.
Welcome to Made Cuisine. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Today we're going to show you how to make rosemary oil. There are two methods: dried using a dehydrator or cooking on the stove with fresh rosemary. There are a couple of items that you will need to have on hand: a container to hold your finished oil, a measuring cup, a funnel in case the opening is small, a jar for slow cooking, a pan for stove cooking, and if you're going to use the dry method, a slow cooker, and a dehydrator. I have grown my own rosemary for a few years. They are very low maintenance and you can find them at a reasonable price. I fertilize with a banana slush that will be in a later video. When cutting, I look for the longest stems and give them a trim, being sure not to cut on any of the leaves. The main benefits of rosemary oil for hair care are: it stimulates blood circulation to the scalp, has anti-inflammatory properties, has antifungal properties that help get rid of dandruff and prevent hair fall. It helps to cleanse and unclog your hair follicles and prevents graying hair. Who doesn't want that? In a 2015 study, rosemary oil performed similar to minoxidil, a popular hair growth treatment. Also, besides just your hair care, it may be used on your skin. Using rosemary as an astringent can reduce inflammation caused by acne and reduce under eye puffiness. The first thing that I do after gathering up all of my leaves and my cutlings, or I soak them in water and then I lay them out to dry in the sun. When they are no longer damp, I place them on my dehydrator pan. I do 2 rounds of dehydration for 2.5 hours each at degrees of 104 to 122. This is how they look when they're finished. They should be able to crack when you pinch the leaves together. I take all my dehydrated leaves and I stuff them into a mason jar. Some people like to remove all of the stems from the leaves, but I find that this leaves more space for the oil to reach all of the leaves without the leaves sinking to the bottom. I typically use sweet almond oil or another carrier oil over my leaves. I pour it on top like such until it reaches almost to the top. You want to leave room so that when it heats up, it does not expand or break your jar. Shake it up a little and it's ready to go. I place the jar into my slow cooker and make sure that the water reaches the bottom of the lid. Set your slow cooker on high for 10 hours and relax. This is the easiest and the fastest method that I have found. You take your fresh cut rosemary, put it in a clean pan with your sweet almond oil. Place your heat very low, maximum of about 3. And then you stir. Make sure that all of the leaves are saturated with the oil in the pan. This cooks very fast, so please pay attention and do not allow it to boil. It should come to a simmer where you will see bubbles, but if you see an abundance of bubbles, it's burning. And this is how it should look at the end. When you get to this stage, you can take the stems out, place them on the side, allow your oil to cool, and then you're going to place it into a jar of your choosing to store. Make sure that you keep your oil in the refrigerator, and it can last from 3 to 6 months, but it must be refrigerated. After your oil is finished cooking in the slow cooker, remove the top. You will see after cooking that it did expand some in the jar. Place your strainer on top of your measuring cup. Be sure to use something that can prevent you from burning your fingers. Now to finish, take your jar that you will keep your oil in and fill your oil into the jar.
We can't even talk about where we came from. We don't know. It's like a lost race. And my songs are deliberately to provoke this feeling of like, who am I? Where did I come from? You know, do I really like me? And why do I like me? And like, you know, if I am black and beautiful, I really am, and I know it, and I don't care who cares, says what.
Now at this point, you are finished. Some discoloration may happen. That's fine, it's normal. I like to take a spatula and scrape the last bit of oil out of my measuring cup. I try to save everything. And that's it. You're done with your dried rosemary oil. This oil can be kept for a year or more. Just make sure that you keep it out of the sunlight. You don't put it around any UV lighting. Be sure to send me your finished products too and leave a comment. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, and tell us what you want to see next from Main Cuisine.